I'm doing pop culture, entertainment, things like that. This here's from Giant Freaking Robot. It's called Brie Larson's new movie is so bad, Marvel is trying to hide it. This caught my eye because I've been a long-time critic of Brie Larson. I don't like things she says, her personality, little looks she gives, and at one point I considered her to be not a great influence in the media, social media, and in the news. I gotta say though, now that I've seen Amber Heard and Evan Rachel Wood and all of that play out, well, I'm a little lighter on Brie, because Brie didn't do anything as bad as those two. However, that doesn't mean she's off the hook from criticism. When I clipped this out, it said 9 hours ago. It was published, so it's from about March 8th or 7th or something like that, 2023. And it begins. We've all seen our fair share of supply chain and scheduling issues over the past few years, so it's really nothing new at this point. As more information surfaces, however, we're hearing a different story about MCU's delayed release of The Marvels starring Brie Larson. The issue is twofold. MCU fans are experiencing Marvel fatigue, and rumor has it that The Marvels received poor feedback. Well, we've heard this from Star Wars. Fatigue, fatigue. And at this point, maybe. But we heard that like 4 years ago. Something like that. Maybe 3 years ago. At that point, it was not fatigue. At this point, with superhero movies, well, I'm fatigued from them. Aquaman 2, obviously not seeing it or looking forward to it because of you know who. And of course, I wouldn't see the Marvels, but what I would like to know about is the poor performance from audience scores and the box office. So what's going on here? In regard to the Marvel fatigue we may be witnessing, it's safe to say that fans are looking for the MCU to break into new territory. Brie Larson's The Marvels, after all, will be the 33rd MCU release, and it's slated for a November release. Last movie I saw from Marvel was Infinity Wars, and then Endgame after that. That's it. So even if The Marvels turns out to be an excellent movie in its own right, it's gonna have to beat out Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which had a strong start at the box office, though is quickly dropping off, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is slated for release later this year. Both films are going to be tough acts to follow no matter how they perform. And they go on to say, in so many words, especially about Ant-Man, but I think they're covering a larger scope here, is that a movie that makes back its budget and a little profit can be considered a success. It used to be where it would need to make like double, triple, quadruple the profit to be a huge success. Now I guess they're settling for getting their money back, which I think Aquaman 2 will at least do, by the way. And they say Marvel might be entering a flop era, which is bad, obviously, for Brie. I'm sure she wishes that she was a more versatile actor and could do more different roles, play a family woman, a doctor, a lawyer, but she's kind of stuck as these fun, bubbly, silly political superheroes. Oh well, that's a sad story. And they end with this. Now here's the clincher. Even if the Marvels turns out to be exceptionally good, things aren't looking great for Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, based on the release date alone. On one hand, fans are getting burned out from epic movie after epic movie, and on the other hand, test screenings are telling us that the Marvels is seeing delays because the film isn't faring well with test audiences, namely the third act, which has to be reshot. And of course, they say reshoots are always a bad sign, which they are, because if it was good, wouldn't have to reshoot, would ya? Let's hope that fixing the film up will help Brie Larson, Emal Vellani, Teo Paris, and director Nia DaCosta change course in their plan to fix the Marvels. Names are getting tougher to pronounce these days. A fall from grace could be possible. Let's not forget that Captain Marvel grossed over $1.1 billion just 4 years ago. And I like to say that the first Aquaman got $1 billion or maybe a little more, so the second one won't do bad, but this is already 4 years gone by in a more saturated franchise than the DCEU. Also, let's face it, Brie Larson is not the pull Jason Momoa is for the general audience. So that's about it. This here feels a lot like the Aquaman 2 news, the rumors we got that test screenings are going really bad. I would tend to believe it. I wouldn't doubt it. It sounds like a silly movie with a silly concept that, I'm going to say it, no one asked for. Let me know what you think in the comments. Doing shoutouts, special thanks. Shout out to Bosette, who I know really wanted to see a Captain Marvel video, so thank you, Bosette. If you're not subscribed here, consider it, and if you don't consider it, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.